Well, as you would expect, this post has gone viral. You have J.D. Vance's wife not wearing a wedding ring. And in the same breath, you have Erika Kirk saying that she is 8 weeks pregnant when Charlie died 10 weeks ago, which is problematic from a time frame perspective. Except, did she actually say that, or are we just making things up? I definitely saw a headline about her talking about pregnancy. I saw that myself. So I guess we're going to have to find out. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. So some dramatic news here, guys. You guys may have heard that there are rumors that Erika Kirk is not only pregnant, but pregnant with someone else's baby that is not Charlie Kirk. Okay. That is what is flying around the internet today, and I am going to show you exactly where that's coming from, and we're going to take a look at that. We also are going to be taking a look at some of the J.D. Vance stuff related to his wife, who's no longer wearing a wedding ring, apparently. It's all drama, dude. It's all drama. We're also going to look at the Candace stuff because she is giving us updates on the assassination plot that she is managing. And so we're going to take a look at that as well. And then we're also going to take a look at some of the, we're actually just going to start right here. We're going to start right here and we're going to look at all of that other stuff. But there's a new report here about what happened to the Turning Point the Turning Point money. You know, everybody's been speculating that money's missing or whatever. And there was a Form 990 that just dropped, and now Grok did an analysis, and they are breaking down like exactly where this money went according to this post, and that's from Project Constitution, and then we're going to look at that right now. So, okay. So obviously the reporting that was done last week that was interesting had to do with how TPUSA was structured as an organization. All these different sub organizations. It's a nonprofit, and it was like, oh, this guy's getting paid 4 different salaries, 5 different salaries. And they were figuring out all of these kind of clever ways to pay themselves more money. And I mean, listen, dude, like, I'll be honest, finding out that the CEO of a nonprofit is making millions of dollars every year doesn't sound exactly right. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't sound like how you would think that is supposed to work with a nonprofit, but that would be only if you don't understand the shell game that nonprofits actually are. You know what I mean? But if you look here, basically it's like, just to kind of outline specifics on this one. Okay. The $8.56 million the TPUSA sent to America's Turning Point, the shell everyone said vanished, did not disappear. And went to a brand new entity that suddenly reported 24 employees and $5.3 million in payroll after claiming 0 employees for its entire existence. That entity spent $7.84 million on Campus Victory Project, the exact same program that used to be inside of TPUSA itself. TPUSA's headcount magically dropped 33%, 458 employees, while group-wide salaries exploded from $21 million to $31 million. They simply moved the entire campus field off the main 501c3 books into a new legal entity to make TPUSA look leaner and cleaner to donors. Okay. Turning Point, basically at the end of the day, okay, like all of this is just going to be fancy stuff that there was no money stolen, but what they were doing was they were restructuring to hide payroll and headcount from donors by spinning campus operations into new entities that had never reported a single employee before 2024. It's not fraud. It's just financial cosmetology on steroids. So basically what that means is the people who are donating to TPUSA, they're, where's all this money going? Like, what are you guys doing? And they were coming up with these like clever ways to not show them how much money the executives were making, because I don't know, they're like, wait, Charlie, how much do you make? He's like, well, 1.6 million in salary. And they're like, is that it? It's like, no, that's not it. You know what I mean? But listen, dude, if you're as big as Charlie's, I mean, can't even imagine how much he's making on his podcast, all that stuff combined. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff combined. Like, that's a lot of dough, dude. That's going to be a lot of dough. But whatever. I mean, it is what it is. He's gone, so there's nothing we could do about it, you know? And I wouldn't suggest that we should, even if there was, let him, I would say, let him deal with his donors. Now, let's go into the Candace stuff before we get into the Erika Kirk pregnancy stuff. And before we do that, though, listen, we're handshaking it, guys. We're going to handshake that you're going to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And I appreciate you guys doing that very much. So here we go. Okay, so Candace said that when everything is said and done, and the public learns that Macron allegedly moved $1.5 million for my assassination, how will the world respond? Okay, well, if that's true, I don't know, honestly. Like, I honestly don't know, but I know that if the American government doesn't do anything about that, okay, that's a big problem for me, dude. Okay, the French government doesn't get to assassinate podcasters in America because they don't like their coverage. Okay, especially where if anybody has watched that coverage, they know it's like, hey, what are you really mad about? You know, what are you really mad about? Are you mad because she's lying, or are you mad because she's telling the truth? You know what I mean? Brigitte. Like, hey, I have an idea. How about you just show a single photograph of you when you were pregnant with your bunch of kids, right? Like, you have a bunch of kids that you gave birth to. Let's just show us a picture of you pregnant, you know? Or show a picture of you as a 25-year-old female. You know what I mean? Like, just prove it. Then everyone can be like, wow, Candace was harassing this old lady. That's messed up. But if she wasn't, I mean, you would still make it weird that you were dating a dude when he was 14 or 15 years old, you know, but whatever. It's France, so that's normal. But she's putting that information out and they're going to murder her for it. Everybody's like, oh, that's fine. That's cool. So, yeah, I don't know, man. But Candace says that she's informed people in the federal government and the White House of the French and Israeli assassination plot. And she's willing to provide full details as well as the name and of the assassins and international accounts in France and Canada through which money was exchanged. Beyond that, I have shared more information with the public regarding the Brigitte story I was investigating at the time of Charlie's assassination. This is all visible on my Instagram stories. Thank you all for reaching out and praying for my family. And then she also had one more, which was about, here we go. So she said it's not coincidence that French legionnaires were in the United States training with our Marines for 3 weeks. When those 3 weeks ended in California, another military training exercise began alongside civilians at Camp Riley in Minnesota. French foreign legionnaires were involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. They were not the only ones, but they were involved. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, except that she showed right here in the AI breakdown that it is true. You know, it's true. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean they helped kill Charlie, but they were here. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Dude, if anybody thinks this is like, no way. Oh, no way, dude. It's like, guys, what movie have you been watching? And here is the hot stuff everybody's been waiting for, right? This is huge. Erika just announced that she is 8 weeks pregnant with what would be her third baby with Charlie Kirk. Only problem is that Charlie died 10 weeks ago. The numbers just don't add up. The story is gaining huge traction online as people speculate on who the father could be. However, coupled with the fact that J.D. Vance's wife seems to have taken off her wedding ring, it seems obvious. Wow. So I guess the first place we're going to have to look to really understand what's real is right here where Erika addressed the viral photo of her hugging J.D. Vance, saying she's just deeply affectionate and intense hugs are part of her love language. She even joked with Megyn Kelly that if she'd grabbed JD's ass instead, people wouldn't have been nearly as mad. Well, I don't know. His wife is not wearing a wedding ring. So, by the way, if you guys can hear in my tone, I'm not taking this super serious, but a lot of people online are. So we're going to talk about it. Okay, watch this.
Please. So for those of you who know me, I hug.
Yes, you're an intense hugger.
Whoever is like hating on a hug needs a hug themselves. I will give you a free hug anytime you want a hug. My love language is touch, if you will. But seriously, that hug. So I will give you a play-by-play. Walking. They just played the emotional video. I'm walking over. He's walking over. I'm starting to cry. He says he's so proud of you, and I say God bless you, and I touch the back of his head. Anyone who I've hugged that I have touched the back of your head when I hug you, I always say God bless you.
Listen, okay? Relax, Erika Kirk, okay? Relax. I was more skeptical before she was talking than I am now because she's over-explaining herself. It's like, Erika, okay, no one seriously thinks that you were trying to hook up with JD Vance on stage. I mean, at least I didn't. But now you're acting weird and guilty. This is weird, okay? Although, listen, I don't know. I don't know what it feels like to have weird rumors rip around the internet about me hitting on my, dead spouse's best friend. But let's continue.
That's just me. If you want to take that out of context, go right ahead. Again, that to me shows that you need a hug more than anyone else. So if anyone...
They were acting like you touched the back of his ass.
I feel like I wouldn't get as much hate if I did that versus... But no, seriously, so now when I go and hug people, I'll bring them back in and be like, I obviously didn't give you the right hug. Like, let me touch the
Where do the hands go?
I don't know what to do with my
Touch
hands.
the head. What can I touch?
I know.
It's not me. I'm always like, when you touch the back of my head, I'm like, oh, she's feeling the extensions.
That's another thing. People think my hair is fake. It is very real.
My hairstylist told me your hair is real. She's like, oh no, that's all real.
This is real.
How is it real?
They like...
Damn, that's crazy. Let's talk about the really important part of this, which is that her hair's real. Okay, I'm just joking, dude. But like, my wife, Gabrielle, you guys may remember my wife from such shows as Play with Matches, the #1 podcast in America. Okay. Oh, a foreshadowing, guys. Speaking of girls that are touching people they shouldn't and talking about things they shouldn't. Foreshadowing. Okay, big Akash's wife video coming shortly. Whatever. I was just gonna go over to our channel, and now I'm not going to because it would take too long. But nonetheless, my wife is like, my hair, and it's like the classic negative impact of social media is this story right here, right? Like everybody's like, oh my God, it's terrible for girls, like how they view themselves. And you're like, yeah, for teenage girls, they think that like, this is what you have to be beautiful thanks to Instagram. And at the same time, for like years, my wife's all, my hair is so terrible. It's falling out. My hair's falling out. Look at my hair. It used to be so beautiful. And then she got extensions, and then she like loves her hair. And then she started talking to all the people that she thought had like perfect hair. She now knows because she's just like, yeah, I got extensions. They're like, oh, I have extensions. And she's like, you do? And she's like, oh my God, everyone has extensions. I'm like, yeah. And you beat yourself up about your hair for multiple years, comparing yourself to people who had extensions. So I don't know, man. That's just a thing that girls don't grow out of, apparently. But Erika Kirk's like, hey, my shit's real, bitches. What's up? Oh, yeah, that's my real hair. You like that? Anyway, but now let's go over to where she's talking about her pregnancy, though, because that obviously is a major part of this story. Then we'll get into that part. Okay, so Erika Kirk prayed she was pregnant with their third child when her husband Charlie was killed. She said that they planned to have 4 kids together. She revealed that she was praying to God that she was pregnant when her husband Charlie Kirk was assassinated. We wanted to have 4 kids, and I was praying to God that I was pregnant when he got murdered. After having a 3-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old son together, they were really excited to just expand their family. When she first said that, I was thinking about it. I'm like, no way. Like, there's no way that because listen, dude, parenting's hard, man. I don't care if, I know Charlie's on the road all the time, but if that is true, that she was really like, oh man, I hope I'm pregnant with his child since he's not going to be around anymore. That's pretty badass, actually, because I know most women would be like, oh my God, and I'm pregnant. Like, what am I going to do? Like, what the hell am I going to do? What am I going to do with the first 2 kids? A third kid, you know what I mean? Like, it's like that would be very challenging. A very challenging thing. Kids take a lot of work, man. Now, we stumbled onto a common talk track that I used to talk about like all the time that I don't talk about anymore recently, probably just because we're like past the age where this is a huge deal. But I used to always tell people, I'll be like, dude, don't go into conversations with married couples and be like, oh my God, so you guys gonna have another baby? Or like, when are you guys gonna have a baby? To like newlyweds and shit. It's super, super tacky and super invasive. And the reason for that is because you have no idea what's going on in that household related to that topic. Now, we have 3 kids, obviously, but like you just don't know. There are people I know who like can't have kids. There are other people I know where that's a major bone of contention in their marriage, where like one of them, they got married thinking they both didn't want to have kids. And then the wife, was because she was 25 at the time. And then as soon as she turned 27 or 28, whatever happens and like that, the girls just all of a sudden are like, I literally can only think about one thing all day, every day. And that is I need a baby inside of me. I don't know what's going on. Like that is a real thing that happens. And the guy's like, are you kidding me? You bait and switched me. I told you I didn't want to have kids. And now this is all we're talking about. Like, you're acting like I did something wrong. Like, I was crystal clear about what I wanted to do. And the girl, oh, I can't explain it, man. Like, I can't, because once a girl gets it in, or once anyone gets it in their mind that they want to have children, if you don't, and the 2 people feel that strongly about it, that's a deal breaker a lot of the time. Really, really tough situation to navigate. Now, for me, I was just always like, man, it's like, for me, honestly, it's just another one of these things where it's just the biggest blessing ever that I ended up with Gabrielle, like ever. It's so funny. Like over the weekend, Saulo Ribeiro was in town for a seminar, and he was just talking about how, when he met his current wife, he's like, you just know, man. He's like, you just know. And I don't know if I've said that on this channel. I mean, I know people obviously know that I'm very happy in my marriage, but like, that is 100% accurate. You just know, man. Like it'll be unlike any person you've ever met. Certainly, anybody you've ever dated. It's very different. You're just gonna know. Like it's like I don't know how to even explain it. It's just a magnetism where you're like, oh, this is that thing. It's just easy. And so as it relates to that, it was always like, okay, well, Gabrielle was an only child, and she was always like, no, I'm having a bunch of kids because I don't ever want to put a kid through. Like, there was no scenario where she wasn't going to have kids, and there was no scenario where she was only going to have 2 because she wanted to have lots because she was lonely when she was a kid. So, yeah, she was like, we're having 3. I was like, all right, and she was right. Having 3 was such a good decision because they're a little gang, dude. They just they're a little fucking gang, man. They just rip around and do their thing. We can leave them alone. They go have fun. Like, they're not like in this forced intimate thing when there's only 2 of them. There's 3 of them, And so each of them has their own relationship with each other, but then they have this relationship as a group. 3 is solid. But again, you have no idea what's going on in people's household. That's a big tangent. Just don't break people's balls about whether they're going to have kids or not. Although I will reiterate, I think that it's the most, I mean, dude, if I wouldn't have had kids, man, I don't know what, I don't know. What would the point of anything be? For me, I mean, I'm not saying for everybody, but like, I'm very glad that I married Gabrielle. Anyway, so this video here is where, okay, so Erika is going to address the Robinson family, and this is like a 2-minute and 50-second video that she did with Megyn Kelly, and I just can't stress enough how challenging I find it to watch her speak. And it's nothing against her. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just, some people, I guarantee there are a lot of people who watch me and they're like, man, this guy's unwatchable. As a matter of fact, I know that because they'll tell me in the comments, I get that all the time. They're like, Jesus, I can't watch this guy. It's like, all right. There's a lot of channels, man. I wouldn't expect everyone to dig my channel. But with Erika, it's not like I think she's a bad person or whatever. I don't know what it is. I can't watch her, man. But we'll try here. Let's do it.
I don't ever feel angry against God, but I kind of do. I mean,
I understand.
How do you make sense of that? And do you have any anger when you think about it? Not towards the Lord, but in general?
The enemy would love for me to be angry. He would love it. He would love it. Because it would distract me from building what Charlie entrusted to me, raising our babies, turning point, being there for the team, being there for what the future holds. And if I had any amount of anger in my heart and spirit, the Lord would not be able to use me.
Okay, let me just say something real quick. Okay. I am not actually like seriously entertaining that Charlie Kirk is alive, right? I mean, we've had this discussion. We have definitely had this discussion at length, and I want to say that again. I am not seriously entertaining that. But I will say the following, okay? Everyone's behavior involved at Turning Point USA has been extremely weird, including the fact that Erika Kirk became the CEO. Why would Erika Kirk become the CEO of that company? Okay? Well, what does that have to do with Charlie Kirk? Simple, guys. You know, I know a lot of people don't have a lot of experience with corporate structure, but if Charlie wanted to both die and remain in charge of his organization and continue to get paid by his organization, then he would put his wife in charge and he would run the organization through his wife. Because otherwise, what on earth would she know about being the CEO of Turning Point USA? What would she possibly know about that? You think Gabrielle could just like tomorrow, like something happens to me, she just comes in, she's like, I'm Jesse on fire now. I mean, obviously it's a little bit different, but not really. It's not that much different. You know, if you could find talent that could do something similar to what I do, impossible, but you know, kind of similar. You think that she could just come in and just like run my YouTube operation and know how to do all of this shit? Like Charlie was a subject expert and everyone else in the executive team is more qualified than his wife. How? I don't even get it. Like she was a trad wife, I thought. Now she's the CEO of the company? Unless Charlie's alive. Okay? Just in case that's the case.
And every single day, just how Charlie did, stood on stage, he would say, "Here I am, Lord, use me." And if I had that anger in my heart, that foothold from the enemy, he wouldn't be able to.
I know at Charlie's memorial.
I just can't. I'm sorry, dude. Fuck, man. I can't, man. I just can't do it. It's very challenging for me to watch. It's like, I don't know, man. The gift that I have, which is like, you're always going to know exactly what you're getting from me. I'm never faking it. But the curse of that is when I see other people like try to do an act, it is like blood curdling to me. It's like, Jesse, do you like watching Erika Kirk or, you know, like, what do you think about this whole thing I'm on? The enemy would love it. The enemy would love it if I was angry that I had to watch this. You guys are like, what's he doing? I'm like, the Lord is going to use me because if I was angry, that would ruin everything. Like, why are you talking like that? What? Why are you talking like that? Isn't this how someone who is stoically a piece of iron looking at a task that needs to get done and is being carried by something larger than themselves? Isn't this how they talk? I don't know, but usually people just talk the way they talk, and then other people, you know, kind of observe that they seem to be that thing. The person talking doesn't go, I wonder what a person who would be that thing does, and then try to imitate it. You just are the thing. There it is. That's why I can't watch her. I just literally just landed on it right there. That's what it is. Let's see if I can stomach a couple more minutes of this.
Right across the way here, there was that extraordinary moment where you forgave his accused killer. And I looked and I said, that's the most powerful, strongest thing I've ever seen anybody do in my life. And then somebody helped me understand, because I thought I could never do it. I could never do it. And somebody said to me, forgiveness is an action, not an emotion. And I was like, okay, that's getting me closer to feeling like I could do it. If I don't actually have to feel loving in my heart toward the person. But I wonder, like, how do you, like, if you could say something to him, if you say something to his parents, like, what would it be? Would it be anger? Would it be sympathy? What would it be?
Man, this is crazy to watch, because you have two blonde women that are similar kind of size and stature looking at each other. One's wearing black, one's wearing white. And the thing that I just described about Erika Kirk, about how her mannerisms and how she comes off, is the exact opposite of Megyn Kelly. So you have Megyn Kelly where she screams authenticity. She just like, she is being 100% authentic, even when she is up there kind of doing her show. And she's like, I don't think I could do it, man. I don't think I could forgive the guy. But someone said, forgiveness is an action. It's not an emotion. That got me a little bit closer. What would you do? What do you think? And then Erika's like, I think that a person who is the thing I'm pretending to be would do this thing. And so I'm trying to also do that thing. It's like, literally, they could not possibly be more opposite when it comes to that. I find I could watch Megyn Kelly all day long. But that's why. Has nothing to do with them. Like, Erika Kirk's a fucking girl. Has nothing to do with it. That's what it is.
That's a good question. It wouldn't be.
This is what a pensive person would do. I'm thinking about what I'm going to say. I'm being pensive right now, and that's why my face is doing what it's doing. I'm pondering this question, but in reality, I'm just very aware that people are watching me and thinking about how I want to present myself instead of just being myself.
It wouldn't be sympathy. It wouldn't be anger. How do you put this? Anything that I could ever wish upon him or that family would pale in comparison of the justice of God. And so I would look at them almost like, I'm so glad I'm not you.
Oh. Wow. Well, I don't know what to do with that. Honestly, I don't know what to do with that. I think that's probably a good way to answer that question, because you certainly don't want to sound like a vengeful psycho, given that you're a female. But yeah, she's very challenging for me to watch. That is what I got, though. I love you guys. I wish her nothing but the best, of course. And I wish everybody nothing but the best, Even the trans furries that don't, actually, no. They can get the death penalty if they actually, if they really did this, they can get the death penalty for sure. But if they didn't, I would hope that they will not be put in prison and we will catch the people who actually did do this. You know what I mean? That would be good.